Good morning, everybody. I wonder if we can please find our seats so we can begin the program this morning. How are you? Hello. Please find our seats so we can begin the program. Hey, Walter. Nice to see you. Could everyone please find their seat at the table? What a beautiful presentation the Riverside Hotel has provided us today. Great. Good morning, everybody. We're here for a very wonderful occasion to be able to take this time away from our busy lives to recognize some very important and honored individuals here in our community. On behalf of my colleagues, I'd like to welcome all of you to the 46th Annual Citizens Recognition Awards Ceremony here at the historic Riverside Hotel. Before we start the ceremony, I would ask you all to please rise for the presentation of colors by the Fort Lauderdale Police Department Honor Guard, and please remain standing for the invocation. I would now ask you all to please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I see my next act is following here. Okay. Please remain standing as I invite you all to please join Ron Perkins, our chaplain, for a few words to invite us all and to provide the invocation this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Lord be with you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we gather today to celebrate this year's Citizen Award winners and recognize their positive impact on our community. These men have made significant contributions to our city at all levels and deserving of our appreciation and praise. We ask your blessings upon our honorees and their whole families. We thank you for placing Bill, Austin, Hal, and Mike in our paths. We humbly ask your blessings on our local elected leaders, giving them wisdom, courage, and foresight to provide for the needs of all our people and to fulfill their obligations to our community. We ask your special blessings on the men and women who protect us every day, our police officers and firefighters. We pray you wrap your arms around them and return them safely to their loved ones when their shifts are done. Finally, Father, we seek your blessings on the United States of America. In this time of political debate, we ask that you bring discernment to our national, state, and local candidates and lead them to unify our people rather than divide. In your holy name we pray. Amen. Please be seated.
Thank you, Ron. And again, I'd like to thank the Fort Lauderdale Police Department Honor Guard and Chaplain Perkins. Thank you for being here today. I'd now like to take a moment just to recognize my colleagues on the commission. We have Vice Mayor Pamela Beasley Pittman. Thank you, Pamela, for being here this morning. We have Commissioner Steve Glassman. We have Commissioner John Herbst. Where's John? Oh, here he is. Okay. And I understand that Commissioner Warren Sturman is on his way. So, folks, thank you very much for being part of this morning and for joining in this recognition ceremony. I also want to recognize a few other folks in our city. First of all, our foremost city manager, Greg Chevarria, our city attorney, Dwayne Spence, our city clerk, David Solomon, our city auditor, Pat Riley, our assistant city managers, Anthony Fajardo and Susan Grant, and members of the Citizens Recognition Committee. First of all, the chair and former mayor, Jack Seiler. Jack, you're here, right? There we are. Very good. Former Commissioner Romney Rogers, Michael Albetta, who is the designee from the Fort Lauderdale Council of Civic Associations. Is Mike here? I didn't see him here. And past honorees, Genia Ellis, Ina Lee, and, of course, Betty Shelley. Thank you all for being here. Former Mayor Jim Naugle could not be in attendance today, but he was also part of the committee. So the Fort Lauderdale City Commission, upon the recommendation of the Citizens Committee of Recognition, acknowledges individuals every year whose efforts and achievements have contributed to the betterment of our city. The program, which began in 1972 with the purpose to publicly recognize citizens who have contributed to our community in significant ways. The honorees are selected by the committee, and the committee's recommendations are then forwarded to the City Commission for approval. Since the inception of the program, we have celebrated 142 individuals. Last year, we decided to do something unique to our show by our show of appreciation for essential workers, and proudly honored our educators, healthcare professionals, and our very own public safety personnel, the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, and the Fort Lauderdale Fire Rescue. The heroes of the pandemic. So please give them a round of applause. Thank you so much. So at this time, it's my honor and pleasure to be able to introduce to you the chair of the Citizen Recognition Committee, former Mayor Jack Seiler. Jack will take over for the rest of the program. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. It is wonderful to be here today to honor four just extraordinary individuals for what they have done for the city of Fort Lauderdale, in the city of Fort Lauderdale, and when you look at it, really for our whole South Florida community. And all four today are just so worthy of this recognition. In fact, as I looked at the names as we were doing this, I'm thinking, didn't we already honor these four at some point in the past? It's just, it's an incredible lineup. So delighted to be here. I want to thank Commissioner, all the City Commission and Mayor Trantalis for joining us today. And how about a round of applause for our City Commission? Today we celebrate and honor Fort Lauderdale citizens whose efforts and achievements foster civic pride and responsibility, encourage public service, develop appreciation of the city's rich history and heritage, and contribute to the betterment of Fort Lauderdale. Taking it a step further, a few years back, you may remember we used to use the term community builder. These four are true community builders. When you look at the impact they have had in making Fort Lauderdale better and making Fort Lauderdale greater, you can really recognize all four of these community builders. Today, those four outstanding individuals are with us. They were introduced, but I'm going to just take a second and have them be recognized again. I'll start with probably one of the great businessmen, commercial realtors, and just a guy when you want something done on a project, whether it's a Broward Workshop or the Chamber or anything else, he's always there. Bill Rotella. Bill. And I see Bill is joined by his family, and delighted to have the whole Rotella family here today. And then, of course, a gentleman that whose family has just generations of impact here in South Florida. Another individual who is just involved in so many things, both in front and behind the scenes, and a guy that we just so well respect in the community, Austin Foreman. Austin. The third one, and I think it's so appropriate we're here today. This is a treasured jewel. I mean, for those of you, when you think about Las Olas, when you think about Fort Lauderdale, when you think about our history, and you think about the fact that this is our 46th year of doing this, what stands out in Fort Lauderdale as being that treasure jewel, and it's the Riverside Hotel. And we're here today at the Riverside. I'm going to ask everybody to pause 1 second, because the Riverside staff, along with the whole team and the management, Heiko and this group, do such an awesome job. How about a huge thank you to the Riverside staff? But why did I mention the Riverside staff at that point in time? It's because this next individual is just someone who has just become not only just a great community asset, but a great, great friend of so many of us in this room, and another guy that you just kind of go to when you need stuff to get done, and he's always there for us, Mike Weymouth. Mike. And Mike, every single member of staff was clapping. I checked around, looking here and right and left. Bonus is coming up, gentlemen. And then last, I can tell you as a former mayor, and I know Romney can speak to this as a former commissioner, this city employee is someone that we went to so many times on so many issues. He was always so dependable. I don't think the word no was ever in his vocabulary. I think every time you ever talked about this gentleman, it was yes. Occasionally would get a yes, but it was always yes, because he is just a great, great public servant and a great city employee. Hal Barnes. Hal. And each one of these honorees has decades of experience in each of their fields, which has helped to shape our city's landscape. We're going to break this down into presentations by different members of the commission. And I'm going to ask at this time, I'm going to invite up Vice Mayor Pam Beasley Pittman. Pam has just really hit the ground running as she joined this city commission. She's serving now as vice mayor, and from all segments of society and all neighborhoods across all 4 districts, the feedback on your performance at City Hall has been outstanding, Vice Mayor. So please come up and do our first honoree, the Citizen of the Year.
Yes, thank you, Jack. Good afternoon to everyone. This is truly an honor to be with you this afternoon, to be able to present this award. And I have the honor, and I'm going to ask that Bill Rotella, president and founder of the Rotella Club, join me, please. Good afternoon. Good. The Citizen of the Year Award is presented to Fort Lauderdale resident who has made great contributions to the community. Okay. William Bill Rotella's journey began in the picturesque town of Rutland, Vermont, and earned a Bachelor's of Science in the marketing from Siena College in Loudonville, New York. I got to work on these names, okay? And whereas Bill commenced his South Florida brokerage career at CBRE Group in 1981, where he has ascended to earn the esteemed title of first vice president, accompanied by the myriad other accolades, including the prestigious up-and-coming awards from the South Florida Business Journal, to the testament of his early achievement in the field. And whereas his embarkment on a transformational journey in 1995, when he had founded the Rotella Group Incorporated, leaving an enduring legacy in South Florida's commercial real estate real estate workers sector. Bill's legacy was further enriched by the addition of his sons, Christopher and Michael, a formidable team of associates who collectively pose an impressive 125 years of experience in the commercial real estate industry. And whereas Bill's leadership plays a pivotal role in reshaping the landscape of Fort Lauderdale and Broward County. His remarkable achievements include the redevelopment of Flagler Village, where he masterfully orchestrated and assemblaged 14 parcels of land at the Sunrise Boulevard and Northeast 4th Avenue. This ambitious endeavor eliminated blight on our city and laid the foundation for vibrant downtown gateway. And whereas his commitment to community service has been nothing short of exceptional. Bill has been steadfast presence in the organizations such as Broward Workshop, the Executive Association of Fort Lauderdale, the Boys and Girls Club of Broward County, the BGCBC. His contributions have been so impactful that he was inducted into the BGCBC Hall of Fame and bestowed with the key of the city to North Lauderdale. And whereas Bill's philanthropic spirit radiated brightly throughout his instrumental role in raising substantial funds for the cause that holds a special place in his heart. Bill's unwavering support was beneficial to institutions such as St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, Multiple Sclerosis Foundation, the Ryder Trauma Center at the University of Miami Jackson Memorial Medical Center, and the Watts Foundation. His dedication to service on the Broward directors of the Watts Foundation facilitated significant contributions to 20 deserving charities. And whereas Bill has dedicated to the city of Fort Lauderdale continues unabated. He is currently serving his third year as a planning and zoning board member, tirelessly contributing to the growth and the development of our city. Spontaneously, he maintains his role as elector and the Eucharist minister for St. John's Baptist Church, exemplifying his commitment to both civic and spiritual service. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the City Commission of the City of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Section 1, that Bill Rotella is hereby selected and honored as the Citizen of the Year of the City of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. In recognition for his many accomplishments and valuable contributions to the City of Fort Lauderdale, and that the City of Fort Lauderdale hereby publicly recognizes and acknowledges these achievements and contributions, that does hereby express his heartfelt appreciation to Bill Rotella. Section 2, this is a keepsake honoring Bill Rotella as the Citizen of the Year of the City of Fort Lauderdale shall be presented to him, and his portrait shall hang in the new City Commission chambers. Section 3, that a copy of this proclamation and recognizing Bill Rotella as the Citizen of the Year will be presented to him as a further token of sincere gratitude and appreciation of the City of Fort Lauderdale. This is dated the 13th day of September, 2023, by the Honorable Mayor Dean Trantelis. Let's give him a hand. This is for you.
Step over that way, Bill.
This way here. Come on, give him a big hand of applause.
Come on, put that in there for me.
30 minutes, I can do that, Walter. Thank you. Thank you, Vice Mayor Beasley. Needless to say, I'm honored to be the recipient of this year's Citizen of the Year Award from the City of Fort Lauderdale. It is a great honor. It would seem to me there'd be a lot more people that are more deserving than I am, but it's certainly nice to be recognized for this, and I appreciate everybody in the wings that had something to do with it. I moved from Vermont in 1980 to Fort Lauderdale, and I've certainly seen Fort Lauderdale grow. I mean, we've certainly more than doubled in size, maybe tripled in size since the time I've been here. Married my beautiful wife, Maureen. Raised our 3 children, Kelly, Chris, and Mike, and have been surrounded by great friends and business associates ever since. It's been pretty amazing. We've grown our business here. We participated in philanthropic events here. My involvement with the church, Jack and I are involved at the same church. I got long relationships that all started when I first came to Fort Lauderdale in the early 80s. Mike Weymouth, a testament to that. And then so many people in the room that I sit on boards with that do so much every day. In particular, Walter Duke, who has taken on almost single-handedly the affordable housing, workforce housing crisis that we have here, has done an amazing job, and I get to spend a lot of time around he and his wife, Lisa. Remarkable people for the things that they do. Very, very blessed. I did just finish my 3rd year on the Planning and Zoning Board, and it was an amazing to see the commitment by the other board members, and then the commitment by the mayor and the vice mayor and all the commissioners. It's the amount of time and commitment that you all put into this city to make it the best place to live in the country, really. Almost anywhere that you go, people are talking about Florida and specifically South Florida. It's been pretty remarkable. So with that said, I just want to say the city of Fort Lauderdale has given us, our family, the opportunity to thrive, and we're honored and happy to live here. So much to be grateful for. I mean, things that I can't tell you that, that have gone on here for us as a family. It's been a remarkable run, and I'm proud to be a resident and call the city of Fort Lauderdale my home. Thank you.
I'm glad Bill mentioned Walter Duke being here. For those of you that are aware of our workforce housing issues, Walter has taken an incredible role leading the efforts, working with the county on amendments, working with the cities. And as a past mayor of Dania Beach, I just want to thank you, Walter, publicly. If we could please recognize you for your work on this. And I think Bill was a little bummed to hear that he's not going to have that picture hanging over at the Parker Playhouse. I think but there's some great old bands that played over there that you probably saw through the years, though, Bill. So again, congratulations to Bill. I would ask that his family rise, because I know they're here, and so many times people become Citizen of the Year because of the support group they have. So. Maureen Rotella, realtor extraordinaire. So congratulations to the whole family. I'm going to ask our Mayor Trantalis to come on back to the podium and recognize our Distinguished Citizen of the Year, which is Austin Foreman. Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. So, distinguished citizen. So the city of Fort Lauderdale is here to recognize a distinguished citizen, and this is an honor that we do not lightly suggest in any way, and to impose this recognition is truly an honor, not only for the individual receiving it, but also for the city to be able to say that we have such a distinguished person living in our community and the work that he has done through all the years that you've been here. So it is my honor to present the Distinguished Citizen recognition today, beginning with whereas Miles Austin Foreman, a proud native of Fort Lauderdale, was born on March 7th. 1947, and received his early education at Bennett Elementary. I live across the street from Bennett Elementary. They're still talking about you. Bayview Elementary and Sunrise Middle School. He earned his diploma from Fort Lauderdale High School, where he was president of his class and a member of the Flying L's football team. Austin began his collegiate studies at Vanderbilt University and later transferred to the University of Florida. His academic pursuits were interrupted by the call to serve his country when he joined the United States Army. Austin's path to success was marked by diverse business ventures ranging from the cemetery industry to the world of the arts. As a young entrepreneur, Austin was instrumental in the development of what is now known as West Lawn Memorial Gardens. He continued on to a successful real estate career, overseeing numerous multi-million-dollar projects. He currently serves as president and CEO of American Marketing and Management. Austin's leadership and business acumen are an inspiration to many. He served as director and member of the executive committee for Barnett Bank of South Florida for an impressive 23 years. In 2009, Austin was rightfully inducted into the H. Wayne Huizenga School of Business Entrepreneurs of a Hall of Fame, honoring his exceptional achievements. Austin's devotion to our community is exemplified through his pivotal role as a founding board member of the Discovery Center, an institution dedicated to enriching the minds of countless residents and visitors alike. He continues to champion our city's intellectual growth as a trustee of the Museum of Discovery and Science. Austin's profound appreciation for the arts and culture serves to enhance his legacy. He is a devoted member of the Broward Center for the Performing Arts, contributing to the vibrancy of our cultural scene. Furthermore, his impactful tenure as chairman and trustee of the Museum of Art in Fort Lauderdale has ensured the arts remain accessible to all. Austin's vision extends beyond our city's borders. President Clinton recognized his global perspective and dedication to sustainable practices by appointing him to the Inter-American Tropical Tuna Commission. Austin's visionary leadership was also fundamental in the development of Broward County Convention Center, solidifying Fort Lauderdale's reputation as a premier destination for both business and tourism. Finally, Austin's philanthropic spirit shines as a beacon of hope in our community through his unwavering support of numerous organizations, including the Boys and Girls Club of Broward County, Broward Center for the Performing Arts, the Humane Society of Broward County, and the Museum of Discovery and Science. His generosity, his extreme generosity, has made a profound difference in the lives of many, leaving a legacy of compassion and kindness. Now, therefore, we, as a City Commission of the City of Fort Lauderdale, hereby proclaim, 1, that Miles Austin Foreman is hereby selected and honored as Distinguished Citizen of the City of Fort Lauderdale in recognition of his many accomplishments and valuable contributions to the city, and that the Commission hereby publicly recognizes and acknowledges these achievements and contributions, and does hereby express its heartfelt appreciation to Miles Austin Foreman. 2, that a bronze plaque honoring Miles Austin Foreman as Distinguished Citizen of the City of Fort Lauderdale will be placed in the courtyard of the future Fort Lauderdale City Hall, and his portrait shall hang in those chambers when they should happen. 3, that a copy of this proclamation and a keepsake recognition recognizing Miles Austin Foreman as Distinguished Citizen shall be presented to him as a further token of the sincere gratitude and appreciation of the City of Fort Lauderdale. Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby present to you Distinguished Citizen of the City of Fort Lauderdale, Miles Austin Foreman. Say a few words?
Sure. You get a picture with you.
Oh, I think they want a picture first.
Okay.
Why don't you get in the middle?
Congratulations. Good. Thank you, Dennis. This is the plaque here. So
thank you, thank you. I appreciate this wonderful honor that has been bestowed upon me by the city, the commissioners, and the mayor, and also the nominating committee that put my name forward. I appreciate that, and I thank you. It came as quite a surprise. I'd like to recognize my family, my wife Christine, my son Miles, and daughter Lori, who are with us, and also my brother Collins, who also had a hand in this, I think, and his family over here. Thank them for being here. It's been my pleasure to be a citizen of Fort Lauderdale, to be born and raised here, to grow up here, and to be able to contribute to this community. And I really thank everyone that has worked so hard and diligently to make this city become one of the greatest cities of its size in the United States. And I really am appreciative of everyone in this room for all of their contributions to our community, because without other people and without our friends and associates, none of these things would be accomplished or could be accomplished. So that is very important, and I thank everyone that has been with me on this journey. Thank you.
All right. Glad to take that back. But I'm going to read this real quick.
Okay.
This is the plaque that's going to be, as the mayor said, at the new city hall. But this will be up, and I think it's important that we recognize this will be there for all time. Distinguished Citizen Award 2021, M. Austin Foreman, for his courageous service to our nation, his vision as an entrepreneur, his unrivaled dedication to our community, his eternal benevolence to countless charitable organizations, and his unwavering support of the arts, which has contributed to the infinite growth and enhancement of our city of Fort Lauderdale and Broward County. This will be at City Hall whenever that gets completed.
I will be there hopefully for the ribbon cutting. Yes, you will.
There you go. There's. And as I pointed out, some other people that are here, I do want to recognize who's also sitting at the table with Austin is a gentleman that has meant so much to our community. But over the last couple of years, you may recall that his daughter took the leadership role with our USS Fort Lauderdale, and I can tell you this guy was such a champion of our fundraising project at the University at the USS Fort Lauderdale. Mitchell Berger. Mitchell, thanks for being here. And it was touched on about Austin's military service, and it, again with that plaque mentions it. But you know, we don't gather like this without people that step up to serve. We don't come together in friendship and fellowship without those that step forward and serve to protect us, to allow us to live this great quality of life. And so I would ask any veterans in the room to please rise so we can recognize you. All I can say to the veterans is thank you for today and all of our future days. We appreciate what you've done. I believe I have coming up next, I'm going to invite the District 2 Commissioner, Steve Glassman, to come up to the podium, and he is going to recognize the exemplary former city employee, Hal Barnes. Commissioner Glassman, come on up. That is either your cheering section or Hal Barnes' cheering section.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. Wow, it's great to be here. And before I introduce Hal, I just wanted to also extend my congratulations to Bill and to Austin and to Mike. You guys are truly amazing. And I want to allay another fear that I've heard today. These photos and these plaques are not going to wait for a new building. Folks, we're getting ready to move into 1 East Broward, and I'm hoping that our commission meetings will begin in the middle of October, and we're going to proudly display those photos and those plaques. So you're not going to have to wait. I just want to make sure you understood that we are going to display all of that on 1 East Broward and not too long from now. So now, the reason that I'm here, and I am thrilled to be here, I will tell you before I introduce Hal. I was asked by staff, would you like to introduce and do the proclamation for Hal Barnes? And I said, you know, of course I would, and I'm going to tell you why. He lives in Victoria Park, he's a constituent, and I need his vote next year. Of course I'm going to introduce him. Why would I not introduce him? So I said yes. What am I going to say? I said yes. I'd be very happy to introduce him. I'm also going to tell you, although that is partially true, there's another reason. Before serving in this incredible office, which is an honor to serve this beautiful city, I was a neighborhood activist for many years, president of the Central Beach Alliance for many years. So Hal got to know me as someone who was just a pain in the rear end because I would always call City Hall and I would always bug people about everything that people were bugging me about. So Hal and I go way back, and he knows what I'm talking about. And I was always so impressed with this man because he was always so responsive, always so right there, and always had the answers and the help that our neighborhood always needed. So I will always be grateful for that. So Hal is here with me, and I am happy to say that the exemplary former city employee is a former city employee who served the citizens of Fort Lauderdale for a substantial number of years, and whose service had a significant impact on development and quality of life for the community. And I am proud now to read this proclamation. Exemplary former city employee, City of Fort Lauderdale. Whereas, in December 1996, Hal Barnes embarked on his journey with the City of Fort Lauderdale in the Public Works Department as a project engineer, then transitioned into the role of engineering design manager. And whereas, under his guidance, the city experienced the realization of over $15 million worth of community enhancements that have reverberated across the cityscape, including entryway signage, monuments, transportation upgrades, and innovative traffic calming solutions. In January 2012, the Neighbor Support Division was created, and Hal was selected as the division's inaugural manager. And whereas throughout his 25-year tenure, Hal's visionary leadership led to an array of citywide programs and events designed to foster strong connections within our community. These include Neighbor Support Night, Neighborhood Recognition Program, the Block Party Program, the Adopt a Neighbor Initiative, the Adopt a Drain campaign, and the acclaimed Neighbor Leadership Academy. And whereas Hal stood as a cherished and distinguished member of our city staff, having garnered a proclamation from the City Commission in October 2005 for his groundbreaking support services aimed at enhancing and beautifying neighborhoods. Furthermore, in November 2006, he received commendation from the City Commission for his instrumental role in bringing the 2006 Florida Neighborhoods Conference to Fort Lauderdale. In 2022, after 25 years of service, Hal received his very own day in the city of Fort Lauderdale. Yes. Yes. And whereas Hal's contributions have been recognized at both the state and national levels, over the span of 2 decades, he has admirably served on the board of directors of the Florida Neighborhoods Conference. He has been a proactive participant in Neighborhoods USA for over 15 years, including a 6-year tenure on the board of directors, during which he held the position of chair for the Awards and Membership Services Committee. Hal's vision and direction for the Neighbor Support Division resulted in the receipt of more than 25 prestigious awards at the national, state, and local levels, lauding his exceptional programs and projects. And whereas Hal's legacy has left an indelible mark on the neighborhoods of the city of Fort Lauderdale, the enduring dedication of the Neighbor Support Team guarantees that our community's vibrancy will continue to flourish. After a distinguished quarter-century of service, Hal Barnes retired on January 22nd, 2022. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the City Commission of the City of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Section 1, that Hal Barnes is hereby selected and honored as exemplary former city employee of the City of Fort Lauderdale in recognition of his many accomplishments and valuable contributions to the City of Fort Lauderdale, and that the City Commission of the City of Fort Lauderdale hereby publicly recognizes and acknowledges these achievements and contributions and does hereby express its heartfelt appreciation to Hal Barnes. Section 2, that a keepsake honoring Hal Barnes as exemplary former city employee shall be presented to him, and a plaque shall be placed in the new City Commission chambers next month. Section 3. Yes, don't worry. That a copy of this proclamation recognizing Hal Barnes as exemplary former city employee shall be presented to him as a further token of the sincere gratitude and appreciation of the city of Fort Lauderdale, dated this, the 13th day of September 2023, and signed by our mayor, the Honorable Mayor Dean J. Trentalis. Hal.
Thank you, everybody. I'm actually deeply humbled and honored by this award. 25 years in the city, Public Works, Neighbor Support, City Manager's Office. We did some really incredible stuff. I want to thank the mayor, the commissioners for your service and working with you, the selection committee for this recognition. Thank you very much. And of course, our city manager and city manager's office. Thank you, Greg. You can't do this by yourself. It takes a team, it takes coworkers, it takes people in the neighborhoods. So I did want to thank a few people this morning, and some of you know who you might be, but a very special person in my years of city service is Gina Ellis. I think I met Gina on my first day at work, and she said, we got a lot of stuff to do, and we need to get busy, and we did, and I retired. She hasn't stopped. But thank you, Gina. I wouldn't be here today without your support all those years. Thank you so much. Annette Ross has always been by my side, Harbor Beach. Annette, the stories that we could share, and I have photos. Thank you so much, Annette. Betty Shelley's with us today. Betty. Betty Shelley, Education Advisory, Council of Civic Associations, my biggest partners in all the projects that we did. Joanne Smith, our dearly departed. She's with us in spirit. Women's Club, I use them every day. They were huge supporters of myself and my programs. Angela Blaine, Angela. The homeless assistance programs that we created. We helped so many people during the pandemic. Thank you, Angela. Angela Salmon. Angela, where are you at? She's with the city manager's office now, but she started under Neighbor Support as one of our senior management fellows. Wonderful program. Thank you, Angela, and thank you all the fellows that have come up through the ranks. Jania Robinson. Jania? Right there. There you are. Jania has always been my right hand in Neighbor Support. She's the one that allowed me to go on vacation and not worry about the office. So, thank you, Jania, for everything that you did to support me. Sherry Roberts has come back out of retirement to be with us this day. Sherry was one of the original Neighbor Support members, along with myself and David Solomon, but Sherry was the one that always kept me level. She made sure that we stayed on the right path. Thank you, Sherry. And actually, Sherry, you probably deserve this award better than me because she was a great employee, enjoying her retirement now. And then there's always been Jerry Pryor. Jerry, you're over on the side. Jerry was with me my entire career, most of the time. She left once in a while, but she always came back. She knew how to take me out of my comfort zone, and we did some incredible things. And then I'd crawl back into my comfort zone. But very, very special people, coworkers, friends for life. And finally, I'd like to accept the award on behalf of all of the city employees. They get up every day, go to work to make this city a great place to live. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
I haven't figured out why we give a clock to a retired person, but I hope you never have to use that clock, Hal, and thanks for everything. I want to recognize Commissioner Sturman came in a little bit earlier, and I didn't get a chance to recognize him. I know he had to rush over here from the hospital, but thank you, Commissioner Sturman, for joining us. And then last today, but certainly not least, I'm going to invite up District 1 Commissioner John Herbst, our former city auditor. Had the great opportunity to work with him all those years when Romney and I were on the commission, now serving as city commissioner of District 1. And he is going to recognize our honored founder, Michael Weymouth. John, come on up.
So Mike, if you'd come on up. And I just want to say a couple of things quickly. First, you know, I worked with Hal for many, many years, and there's nobody more deserving of this. So Hal, congratulations to you. Nobody has done a better job for our neighborhoods than you have. So thank you. And I guess I forfeited my opportunity for exemplary former employee by running for commission. So this is especially important for me because not only has Mike done such a great job for this city and everything that's going on, but he's a close personal friend, so thank you. Thank you. Couldn't be more pleased. So whereas Michael C. Weymouth, a native of Lake Forest, Illinois, and a proud resident of Fort Lauderdale since 1975, has demonstrated unwavering commitment and significantly contributed to our community. And whereas Michael, do you mind if I just call you Mike? It'd be easier. Yeah. And whereas Mike diligently pursued his academic endeavors, really? Okay. Earning a Bachelor of Business Administration from the University of Miami, and a Master of Business Administration from Nova Southeastern University to set the foundation for his future in business. And whereas his entrepreneurial spirit led him to establish and successfully manage his own real estate and construction business for a decade, and gained additional experience with prominent firms such as Blockbuster Entertainment, Trammell Crow Company, and CMC Development Group. And whereas Mike admirably serves as president of the Las Olas Company, where he diligently works to honor and preserve the historic charm and character of Las Olas Boulevard, Michael champions continued growth and success, attracting diverse establishments, organizing world-class events, and showcasing Fort Lauderdale to a global audience. And whereas Mike also displays an unwavering commitment to community service, generously dedicating his time, talent, and energy to numerous civic organizations and boards, including the Broward Workshop, Executives Associations of Fort Lauderdale, Riverwalk Trust, Seminole Hard Rock Winterfest Boat Parade, Junior Achievement, and currently serves as chair to the city's Planning and Zoning Board. And I don't know how you find time for all that, but whereas Mike has emerged as a charismatic leader, consistently supporting sensible growth of our city and playing an instrumental role in reshaping downtown Fort Lauderdale into a vibrant destination for residents and visitors, and whereas Mike's leadership, vision, and enduring dedication to the city of Fort Lauderdale blends seamlessly with his deeply rooted commitment to civic engagement and charitable generosity to make him this year's selection as honored founder. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the City Commission of the City of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, that Michael C. Weymouth is hereby selected and honored as honored founder of the city of Fort Lauderdale in recognition of his many accomplishments and valuable contributions to the city of Fort Lauderdale, and that the City Commission of the City of Fort Lauderdale hereby publicly recognizes and acknowledges these achievements and contributions, and does hereby express its heartfelt appreciation to Michael Weymouth. Hold it, not done, not done, we're getting there. That a keepsake honoring Mike as honored founder of the City of Fort Lauderdale shall be presented to him, and a plaque shall be placed in where? The new City Commission chambers. And that a copy of this proclamation recognizing Mike as the honored founder shall be presented to him as a further token of the sincere gratitude and appreciation of the City of Fort Lauderdale, dated this 13th day of September, 2023. Mayor Dean J. Trantalis. Thank you all.
Good thing Rob's tall.
Got the aerial. Well, thank you. I was hoping for once in my career that I could take a podium without having to follow Jack Seiler or Heiko. Unfortunately, that just didn't happen. Never does. So they always leave with just a little bit of time left. So first of all, I want to send thank yous also to the City Commission and also to all the people that were behind this. The selection committee, I appreciate you guys for selecting me. It is quite an honor. I also want to recognize my family, my wife Jody, my brother Patrick, and my cousin Barbara. I've also got my employment family, my work family, who quite frankly, they know, or Jody knows, that I spend more time with them than I do with the rest of my family, and I love you guys almost as much, almost as much. Thank you for everything you do. You make me look good. Also, I've got a bunch of old friends here that came to support me, but as I look around the room, I'm seeing a lot of old friends as well. So thank you, everyone that's come out for this. Before I go any further, I want to recognize the other people that have gotten honors. Bill, you and I go back to the mid-'80s when I worked at Blockbuster, and you did a tremendous amount of work. And I go back, not with your wife, but knowing your wife. Probably 10 years before that. I know that's still a source of a little angst, but Maureen, you and I go back to the late 70s, kid. Long time ago. So congratulations, well deserved. Austin, I remember as a young boy, not as a young boy, as a teenager, meeting your dad three times, and it was such a privilege to meet him. And when I was at Trammell Crow, we actually did some work with you guys out in a couple of your properties out in Davie. And then I always had the luxury of taking Miles and my brother Patrick to school, which was always a great ride in the morning out to Davie. So congratulations to you as well. And Hal, you have been a wonderful person for the city, and the city is better because of you. So yesterday I was at breakfast with my friend Walter Duke, and Walter says, "Remind me again what you're being recognized for?" And I said, "Honored founder." And he goes, "Aren't they all dead?" And that's a true statement. So that inspired me to go and get the list of past recipients. And I thought I was going to be able to thank Romola Matwani this morning at a Broward Workshop breakfast, but she wasn't there. She's still alive. Thank you, Romola. Sandy Castile, who I know through my mother and being involved with the Stranahan House. Hopefully I'll see her next week or 2 weeks from now at the Stranahan House for an event there. And then lastly, Ted Drum. And hopefully I'll see Ted at church on Sunday and thank him. So of all the past honorees, I believe those are the only three. So I'm in a very select group, very select group. So speaking of past honorees, I have to share with you, I need to recognize Dick and Tom Wells, who are obviously family to me. They were honored as honored founders back in 2007, so I'm very proud to follow them in theirs. My job is to perpetuate the family vision for the city of Fort Lauderdale that was established back in the 1930s when my family first came down here, and has been passed on through the family generations by being engaged in the city of Fort Lauderdale and local community. I am humbled to accept this award, and I'm very grateful. And I just hope that I can keep the 90 years of vision very keen on where we're trying to take this. So I want to thank you guys for coming out and supporting me, and congratulations to all the others as well.
I hope his predictions don't come true, that's all I'm going to say. So before we close up, one of the things Mike did was obviously recognize his wife Jody, which reminds me of the job that she carries in the city and the work that they do. And earlier when we asked the veterans to stand, you saw a couple of our law enforcement officers and public safety officials rise. But again, what allows us to gather here locally and what allows us to enjoy this great city is our police and fire and all the people that work in public safety. So if they would please rise, we can recognize you. So as we wrap this up, and I told you we're going to get this done on time, I one last person I have to thank. Jim Noggle introduced me to someone years ago when I became mayor and kind of did the handoff. He had a great assistant when he was at mayor of City of Fort Lauderdale at City Hall. And then I would say she worked for me, but I worked for her for 9 years as mayor. But she put this program together, her and her team, and they're all here. And just a huge thank you to Sophia Ali. Sophia. These events just don't happen. They happen because good people get to work and just get great results. So thanks to everybody with the city for putting this together. And with that, I believe we are officially at the end of the ceremony. I am going to ask the award winners to come back up so we can get one group shot. I'll point out when you come up here, the only individual wearing the same jacket in his picture that he wore today is Mr. Bill Rotella. I noticed that, Bill, when you were up here. I'm like, that's a really good-looking jacket. Where have I seen it before? And then I turned around and looked at the screen. So, but anyway, could we get the 4 award winners up here one more time for a group shot? I would ask the mayor and commission if they could join us up here. Or did Dean have to rush out? Why don't we get the commissioners up here, the vice mayor, and we'll get a... And I'm going to ask the committee members to also wait a minute and then come up so we can get a group shot of that. So let's bring the 4 of them up here with the city commission.
So well deserved.
Come on up, Bill. Come on up, guys. Here, slide over that way, I think. Let me just do this. Maybe that'll work.
You want to get that out of the way? Got it?
Heiko, I'm now officially working for you. I think that's fine. All right, let's. Oh, hold on, Pam's coming up. Sorry, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. You're fine.
Al. Doc. I mean, what's you? I got it. There we go. I don't want to drop it. Thanks, Heiko.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you after. I know. But he already said I like that he was like, come on. The mic.
All right, I think then we're going to ask the Citizens Committee that made these nominations and the appointment to come on. Ina Lee, come on up, our tourism icon. Romney, come on up. Betty, Gina Ellis, the the other woman that never said no. Now she's running Riverwalk for life. We're gonna mix this up a little bit.
All right, everyone, camera is right here on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take a few of them. All right, next camera is going to be here and here.
All right, well, thank you all for coming out, and congratulations again to all these award winners. Well deserved.